Hi guys, I am here in West Africa, number one, to stress test the Sony ZV-E1 in these ridiculously hot conditions. It feels like 43 degrees Celsius with the humidex. The actual temperature, 37 degrees, but with the humidity, it's about 43 degrees, and I am melting. Mostly, I'm supposed to be here with my family, vacationing, but I decided to test a bunch of cameras and also melt. And the thing is, what it made me realize is the thing I've needed the most while I've been here is this guy right here, this variable ND. In fact, I have three with me. So you see how that goes dark to light? This thing is my most indispensable piece of equipment aside from a camera and a lens on this entire trip. So let's talk about it. Now, people ask me all the time, number one, what is an ND filter and which one should I get? And I have a fancy ones from Freewell that come in an entire magnetic kit, and those things are great for really pro work, professional photography especially, but I buy these smaller, cheaper ones from K&F Concept when I am out traveling, when I want to do things, because these are still really great filters, but they are very, very affordable. And look, you can see right here, it goes from light to dark. I'm looking in the LCD. Fun to have the flip out screen. It's been great. This camera has been great. We're not here to talk about the camera. We're here to talk about the neutral density filter. Now, the way they work is they just screw right onto your lens. See, each lens has a filter thread. This one is a 67mm filter thread. This is a 67mm variable ND. So you just take it, screw it on right there, and you are good to go. You adjust it, adjust the sunglasses on your lens until you get the right amount of darkness. So a lot of times, like right now, I'm shooting at f1.8. I would not be able to shoot at f1.8 and blur out any of the background if I wasn't using a neutral density filter. I'm using another variable neutral density filter from K&F. In fact, I have a 55mm on this 1.8 because that's the filter thread. I brought the 67mm for my 67mm lenses. But there is one more thing you can do if you don't want to buy multiple filters, and that you can get the largest size filter that fits your lens. This is an 82mm filter thread, and then you can buy these step-up rings, and that way you can attach this to lenses that have a smaller thread than 82mm. So you just attach these little metal step-up rings. They cost like $10. These are also from K&F. And then you attach the whole thing to your lens. You see, this is a 72mm filter thread, and I'd use two step-up rings. I went from 82 to 77 and 77 to 72, and then I just put that on like that, as long as I can line up the threads properly, which I currently cannot do. You want to know why? Because I'm too hot. There we go. And now this fits. Now the thing is, you may say, well, then just do that for all of your lenses. But let's just say this 55mm, you'll have to get a lot of step-up rings. And then this is an 11mm lens with a 55mm filter thread. So that's very wide. It's going to see those step-up rings in your wide shots. So that is not great. So I like to have it for my most common lens sizes. I have a bunch of 55mm filter thread lenses and a bunch of 67. So I bought, because the K&F ones are quite affordable, I bought one for my 67mm lenses, one for my 55mm lenses. Then I got an 82mm to cover me for everything else that is higher than 67, and it served me very well so far. So I have my exposure set up the way I like, but I can actually turn it and make it much brighter, or in fact, I can make it much darker. Let me show you what it looks like without the filter on at all. So this is the actual exposure with my shutter speed at 1/50 and f1.8 with my ISO at the base ISO for S-Log3 640. As you can see, that's no good. Let's get that thing back on. Ah, that's a lot better, gorgeous. And if you're wondering how the ZV-E1 is doing in this environment, it's hanging in like a champ, actually, because even though it's hot and humid outside, there's always a little breeze, and the camera doing just fine. No overheating warnings. I will have a whole video on that. But let's just stick to the ND filter talk right now. So I like the 1 to 5 stop ND. It can go from 1 to 3 or 1 to 10, things like that. I find the 1 to 5 is the perfect balance between a good amount of stops of ND and also a good price. And so I will list down below the one that I have here, the K&F Concept Nano. Great little filter, doesn't give weird color cast, hangs in with the big boys, has hard stops, so you're not going to go too far and get a weird little shadow of an X, which you can get on some ND filters. Anyway, links down below. I'm going to take my 15th shower of the, it doesn't matter how many times you shower, you stay wet. You never you never dry. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.